It's the last day of 2011, and I've had kind of a big year for outdoor stuff and knives, and I thought I'd show today one of my main EDC choices, everyday carry, which is a Spyderco Delica 4. And I'll get into some of the specifics on this knife in just a little bit. But before I do that, I should probably talk a little bit about what I look for in something that I'm going to carry every day just around. And I'm not in the woods every day. In fact, most of the time I'm in an office environment or transitioning between different places in the car and things like that. So for me, you're not going to catch me carrying my woods knife on my belt in those situations, because it just wouldn't be appropriate. And this, for the last year, has kind of been my go-to woods knife. It's been just beat to hell. I've been all over the world with it. It's an SE3, and I like it pretty well. The edge on there, I got taught by Jerry Fisk how to do edges on knives, and he actually put this one on there, so I'm saving it more as a reference knife now to know if I'm doing something wrong. But anyway, when you're looking at what's an appropriate knife for you to carry, you really kind of have to look at what realistically are you going to be doing on a day in, day out basis. So for me, what I like is I like a thin knife that's lightweight and of quality. You know, I could carry some throwaway knife or something like that, but it just wouldn't have quite the quality that, you know, I'd call this a low mid-range knife, about between $50 and $60. That's going to be a lot better knife than most of the, you know, $10 to $12 knives you're going to find. A couple other knives that fit in that role of, again, slim profile, usable knife with, you know, pretty lightweight. I'd call this more of a light-duty knife. Something else that kind of fits in that category, another knife I carried a lot this year is this Almar Eagle Ultralight. And it's got quite a long blade on there for as lightweight as this knife is. Again, this one doesn't have any metal liners or anything, so I would call this more of a light-duty knife. And then the other one that I carried a lot in 2011 is this Spyderco Endura, and it's a little bit more robust. It's got, you know, steel handle and everything, and it's going to hold up a lot better to heavier use than my other two knives. But it comes with a price. It's a little bit heavier, it's a little bit bigger, and most of the time for the environment that I'm in, I end up carrying something like this Spyderco Delica. My particular Delica weighs in at 2 3/8 ounces. The overall length is about 7 inches. The blade is about 3 of that, and the handle's about 4 of that. It might be a little bit over on each of those, but it's close enough, you get the idea. I like the handle material. It's I'll look that up and tell you what it is, but it's some sort of a fiberglass reinforced plastic. And then if you look, you maybe can see it on the inside, it does actually have liners, and they're drilled out to be lighter weight, and they're actually buried inside the handle material on the inside. About midway through the year, I put a little bit different edge on it. After Jerry Fisk showed me that convex grind, I pretty much had to have one, because it really is pretty much razor sharp. I mean, you can easily shave hair with it without any difficulty. There's sharper knives out there, but this one does most of the tasks I need it to. Another feature I like is that the clip is it's ambidextrous, so you have screws there, and screws there, and screws there, so you can carry it either tip up or tip down, and either side that you like. Some criticisms, I mean, for between 50 and 60 bucks, it's hard to come up with a huge amount of criticisms that would really be fair for this knife. I think the steel holds an edge pretty well. I do have to touch it up every once in a while, but I use my knives a lot, so I think the steel is pretty good. It's the VG10 stuff. You've got some jimping on the back of the blade. Everything is, I mean, for 50 to 60 bucks, it's a pretty well made knife. I haven't had this happen, but on this particular knife, but on other knives under hard use or harder use, I've seen these lockbacks positioned on the back of the blade actually break, and my dad had a knife actually close on him when he was using it, and it cut his hand up. I think they've solved that problem. They've got a little cutout there, and I have not experienced any problems with the lock mechanism on this knife over a year of use. Another criticism, if you want to get picky, is it's just not a super strong knife. Again, this is what I would consider a light use knife, but if you look, watch that scale bend when you put any kind of lateral tension on the knife. Fortunately, I've got other knives that I put into heavier use like that. So overall, I'd say this is a pretty good knife for the money. I think over the course of this next year, I'm going to try some heavier use folders out. Again, light duty, light. You'll break it otherwise. But I'm going to try some heavier folders out. One is the Sabenza 21. I've heard some good things about that. I've also heard real good things about that Striker SNG. I'm going to try that. And the other one I'm going to try is Zero Tolerance 301. Again, heard good things about that, and I've been a fan of Kershaw, especially the Kennett Kershaws, ever since the Randall Task came out. And I have an original one of those that's left-handed that I'd probably still carry all the time, but I worry about losing that one because replacing it would be next to impossible at this point. So that's it, and I'll see you next year.